Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Summit Talk Show. Tonight's show will be talking about the infamous former Wolf of Wall Street. He is a man who made over $52 million in a year trading on Wall Street. This man has an Academy Award winning film based on his autobiography. He is intelligent, he is charming, but he is also prone to deviant behavior. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be talking about Jordan Belfort. Woo! Let's take you over to Samya, who will give you a brief information on Jordan Belfort.
Who is Jordan Belfort? Jordan Belfort was born on July 9, 1962, in the Bronx, New York, to a Jewish family. His parents, Leah and Max, were both accountants. Jordan was mostly raised in Bayside, Queens. Belfort started earning money at a young age by selling Italian ice cream to people, which earned him and his childhood friend, Elliot, $20,000. Later on, Belfort went on to graduate from AU, American University in DC, with a degree in biology. He then eventually went on to become not only an entrepreneur, but also an author, motivational speaker, and stockbroker.
Thank you, Samya. And now I would like all of us to welcome a very special guest tonight. She has made a very big effort to join us here tonight. She is the ex-wife of Jordan Belfort. Let's put our hands together for Naomi. So Naomi, I would firstly like to thank you for coming here tonight.
No, it was my pleasure.
That's really sweet of her.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have another round of applause for Naomi. All right. So we asked you to come here tonight to talk about the exploits of your ex-husband, Jordan Belfort, particularly the ethics involved in it. So Naomi, you separated from him in 2005?
2005, that's right. It was a very difficult part of my life, but I managed it and put myself together.
That's brilliant. So Jordan owned Stratton Oakmont, which was a multi-million-dollar firm, which inevitably met its doom. But with regards to ethics, what do you think about the firm's activities?
Well, I always believed that Stratton Oakmont was quite an ethical firm. Although that Jordan was doing was illegal, he always helped out those who care about him. For example, one particular woman I remember, I don't want to say any names, so she was struggling with her living expenses and she had a child. So Jordan actually wrote her a check for about $25,000.
I see. Well, that's nice, but what about the nature of what he was doing? Don't you think he was robbing people?
I understand that Jordan did was quite unethical. I don't think he intended to hurt those people. Jordan wasn't completely selfish, and what he did, he wasn't just benefit of most of other people and not just himself.
So you believe his actions were moral?
Well, I think his actions were completely moral. I have to give him the credit for trying to help out as many people as he could.
Okay, so now let's look at the main topics and questions we are going to answer today. Firstly, we will analyze various theories related to unethical leadership and see which ones best describe Jordan Belfort and his actions as a leader. Secondly, we will answer the questions: what do we think went wrong with Jordan Belfort and how we think we could have overcome this situation. Then finally, we will conclude on today's show with our overall view on Jordan Belfort and provide some recommendations we think will lead and keep him on a more ethical path as a leader. So that's for the first half. I'll see you after the break. Thank you. Welcome back after the break. Firstly, let me explain what unethical leadership is. It can be described as the behaviors conducted and decisions made by organizational leaders that are illegal and violate moral standards. So let's now discuss the ethics theories. So what were the first unethical behaviors you noticed about Jordan?
I noticed his level of greed increased, especially in terms of the stock he sold, which was dishonest. Afterwards, I found that his moral and mental conditions started to deteriorate due to all the stress and the drugs he took to deal with it. And I think he began doing illegal business because he had a sense of entitlement. He felt that he deserved more money, so he began to do anything he took, including fraud.
Okay, now let's discuss the theoretical perspective of power. From what we have seen in Jordan's illustrious career, he demonstrated a few different types of powers, such as legitimate power and rewarded power.
Peter Springsteel, an architect in Mystic, Connecticut,
Okay.
he lost half his life savings.
Okay.
Dr. Alfred Witt, a retired dentist who lost $250,000.
Okay.
One victim called Bob Sheeran reportedly lost $130,000. He told the Telegraph newspaper this. His depiction of the movie is annoying and disturbing because it makes him into a more mythical figure and skips the reality of what he was about. And what he was about was harming people financially.
I think the movie clearly paints that picture that
But that's accurate, isn't it?
What?
That you were deliberately...
I'm the first person to admit that I said that.
Right.
You asked me in
But how do you feel
You said 1993. What did I say? I said, yeah,
I agree.
That year was the worst. You picked probably the highlight of what I consider myself to be the most depraved year of my life.
But that's why I'm surprised that you would then say you don't think thousands of people lost their money or...
You said life savings.
Well, some of them did, right?
I don't know anyone who lost their life savings. No, the one that you... Again, I'm not saying that makes it right, but let's just be accurate.
But how do you feel about these people
I think it's awful.
losing a lot of money, in some
terrible.
cases having their lives completely turned upside down?
I think it's terrible.
On a human level, have you ever met any of them? You ever met one of your victims?
I have not.
Why not?
No one has sought me out.
Why haven't you sought them out?
You know, I don't want to intrude anybody's life, and you know,
Come on, Jordan, that's a cop-out.
No, it's not. I don't think it's appropriate to seek my
You don't think
victims out.
would it not be part of your self-redemption to actually track some of these people down? We know some of their names. We know what they're saying about you. If you actually called them up and just said, I actually would like to talk to you. I would like to apologize personally to you what happened.
You know, I never really considered it before, but I think a better way for me is over the next 15 years as I go around the world and continue to speak and do my stuff, all the money that flows in, I think action speaks louder than words. And I think by doing what I'm doing here, by turning over 100% of the profits, is probably the most genuine thing I could do. And
See, in a way, what you're doing now, and I don't mean this to be too cynical, actually, because I think what you're doing the right thing as best you probably can. What I would say to you, if I was being critical, is you're kind of talking about it still as a financial thing to be resolved financially, that you can deal with this with money in the same way that at the time you could make money out of these people. It was all money. It wasn't really about human beings. I suppose my question to you would be that, you know, when I read out these names, these are real people,
Right.
really, who have suffered personally badly. But have you ever seen them as human beings? Or is part of the issue with the kind of culture that we see in the movie that actually in the end you become slightly dehumanized?
And the last theory for tonight is politics. These include topics such as corporate misconduct, types of personalities, and the topic of corporate psychopaths. So do you think that Jordan became a corporate psychopath by the way he began to handle his business and his employees?
Yes, I definitely noticed a change in his behavior, and I agree it was almost psychopathic. Even at home, he was angry and even violent to the point where I had enough. So this contributed to the end of our relationship when I decided that it was time to divorce.
Oh, okay. So, but some people believe that you left Jordan because he had no money left and you wanted to disassociate yourself from him.
No comment.
Okay, then, finally to conclude, what do you think was the main problem? Where do you think the downfall of Stratton Oakman began?
I think Jordan started getting greedier as he got more money, so he also became very power hungry and stopped fearing the consequences of the law. And especially with the FBI on his tail, he did have an opportunity to get them off his tail by leaving Stratton, but he changed his mind at the last minute.
Okay, and what do you think Jordan has done in the aftermath? Do you think he has redeemed himself?
Jordan has clearing his name now by speaking in the media and admitting what he has done. He has started doing legitimate business and started doing motivational talks. And he is also slowly paying back like those people who has stolen from. So yes, I do believe that he has redeemed himself. This is pretty much that I would recommend him to do if he asked me.
Okay, well, that's it for tonight, and thank you so much for joining us here. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for tuning in, and we hope it was informative. See you soon. Bye.